What is up, beautiful people? It is Friday. It is Saturday. It's whatever day you guys want to watch this. We're hanging out with the crickets and the deer and everything else. We're outside today, if you couldn't tell. Don't feel like I needed to tell you that, but maybe I did. I just wanted to change up the setting, but it is Charlotte for the week, episode number 24. Shout out Kobe Bryant. It is... that time. We have a lot to cover today, by the way.
Yes.
So, like I said, I won't spend too much time gibbering at the beginning. We'll really just get right into it with all the action, right? So we have two recaps. We'll just kind of throw them both into one here. So two games, obviously, for the boys in black and blue last week. First one was Charlotte FC 2. Don't even want to say their name, ATL 2. We'll talk about that here in a second. And, of course, the next one we really want to talk about was Red Bull New York 0, Charlotte FC 2.
Nice road win there.
Very nice road win there. So 4 points out of a possible 6 in that little
terrible.
2-game. Yeah, we'll take that most days, right? So not bad overall. Obviously, you don't love dropping points, especially when it's to your bitter rival, Atlanta. The way that they did it as well, we'll get into. But, a good overall week, a good showing from Charlotte FC for the week, coming back from the long break, the 60 days off. Both matches went a little different than most Charlotte matches, I would say, at least so far this year and even last year, right? We saw a lot of first-half goals. We're usually more of the second-half team coming back. Not the case in either one of these matches. The first match, we had Vargas scoring, backflip, more on him in a second. Oh, yep, there you go. You got him still. Yep, there's Vargas doing his backflip. I think you called that one, Brian, last week on the show.
I did.
And sorry, Amy called it as well. I think I'm the only one that didn't in that case. Boo me. And then in the second match, we had two of the favorites, two of the All-Stars, which, again, we'll get into in a second. Pep BL and captain himself, Ashley Westwood, scoring.
Shout out to his bobblehead.
Oh, yeah, his new bobblehead, which we got at the Atlanta game. You guys got it. I didn't get it. I was late.
Some love for Liel Abada. How about that?
How
A
about
goal and an assist in 2 games.
Yes, we are going to talk a little bit about Liel Abada because, he showed up in these two matches. Talk a little about the Atlanta first. Atlanta game felt so dominant by Charlotte FC.
Yeah.
That one absolutely felt like a game we should have won, especially being up 2-0 at the half. 2 cheap goals given up in the second half. Obviously couldn't get the third. We really tried for it, pushing, just couldn't get it done. So ended up drawing that one. Red Bull New York was a little bit of a opposite, right? We came out guns blazing, 2 goals within the first 15 minutes. And then just felt like we had to hold on in that second half. Really felt like Red Bull New York was really trying to come back on us, but great job by the back line. Shout out Henry Kessler. Shout out Morrison Najimong. I thought they had a fantastic game in this particular matchup and held them to a clean sheet to get that W. A Kalina sheet. And honestly, shout out Christian Kalina with some of those saves. Yes, he had one of those saves. Incredible.
He should have made match team or whatever.
I don't know if I haven't seen if he did or not. I don't know if they've announced it, but absolutely with especially the one-arm save he had. Incredible.
Well, then the double one where he dove and then got up and hit it up and then he did Kalina things.
He did exactly what we expect him to do. And again, the back line, they were getting the ball out when they needed to, getting their heads on balls, clearing. I thought it was a really, really good game. Reading the stats may say otherwise, right? We'll get into the stats really quick. So in the Atlanta matchup, it was Charlotte with 24 shots. I think that's a season high, by the way, against Atlanta's 12. They had 48% of the possession did Charlotte, which is actually pretty high for Charlotte overall. Obviously not really a possession-based team. We had 4 times the expected goals in this game than did Atlanta. So that one really feels like one we probably should have won at the end of the day. But, again, take the draw. Yep. And then, of course, against Red Bull New York, it was kind of the opposite. It was 23 shots for the Red Bulls, only 5 for Charlotte. 38% of the possession, but you look at the expected goals, they were exactly dead even there. So we take the W there. Yeah, very, very weird as far as the stats, but that's how it came out. Again, just a couple of thoughts from me, and then I want to pass it to you guys. I thought the counter game from us in both games was clean, good, crisp. A lot of that because of Liel Abada. He was getting into positions, he was getting forward, and he was making good passes, which we're just not accustomed to. But he was good in these 2 matches. He, again, you said, had a goal and an assist over those 2. Vargas, great in both games, in my opinion. Really, really good. Again, more on him in a little bit. And, of course, Pep Biel doing Pep Biel things, goal and assist as well. And then we had a lot more consistent earlier subs, right?
Only in the Atlanta game, though.
Yeah, well, it was about 70th minute or so. Okay, yeah, that is true. But consistent subs as far as who came in, the personnel was very consistent, I guess is what I mean by that. But done with my blabbing, guys. What did you guys think of the two matchups? Just however you want to talk about it, really. What do you think?
I think I'd be happy with 4 points based on a home game and a road game after the long break.
You would have thought it was a different way.
The opposite way would have probably taken the 3 at home and one on the road. But
Sure.
I think in both games I was really happy with how we came out, scored the first goals in both matches. A little bit disappointed after how we played after we scored the 2 goals. Yeah. I feel like we changed a little bit of our tactics, and that allowed both teams to gain a lot of momentum. It hurt us in the first game. The second game, just don't think Red Bulls has the quality enough to hurt us. So I didn't love that, but overall, I thought it was good. The other thing I'd say is, like, we used a lot of our depth. I've been talking a lot about on the show about how I was concerned about the depth, but in both games we used our depth. No Zaha, Kessler's back. Byrne was out for a little bit, so I was pleased with that aspect of it as well.
I would say I was thrilled with how we started in both games, because I think that is a key, I think, in every one of our games. Like, if we can score first, I just think, I don't know if the guys feel more at ease and kind of play into the game better, but I was upset with the fact that we had all the momentum. We were like going at it, and then, like you said, it was like there was this tactical shift, or at least during the halftime of the Atlanta game. Red Bull seemed to do it earlier in the first half, where they kind of like took it to us. But in the Atlanta game, like, we tried to figure out something, and like we changed our tactics, but then I think Atlanta did too. And I mean, they did get 2 cheap goals, but I almost feel like we just kind of sat back and let them bring the game to us. And I know we do like to allow the other teams to possess the ball, but I think we had all the momentum and the attack was going well. Why we would change that up, I'm not really sure why we did that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what with these subs, like, because I can't remember if they scored both goals after the sub or one came after the first, but we saw
I feel like in the Atlanta game,
at the same time.
All their scoring came after our subs went out.
I think
in
the
60th minute. I'm like, why did we change? Like, because that was kind of disheartening.
And Abada was having a career game, like, out of nowhere. I mean, looking awesome out there, and he's one of the ones to come off. I thought was crazy, which, if you'd asked me that 2 weeks ago, I'd have been like, no crap. But like in this game, I mean, he was clearly the danger man in that game. To come off at that point, again, just too early for me.
I think both of these teams going in were vulnerable teams. You know, we talked about Atlanta; they've not scored many goals. For them to score 2 on us was a little bit disappointing. And same thing with Red Bull. They're a young team, so I felt like if we would have got the 3rd goal in either one of those games,
the game's
over. They're folded.
Yeah,
I would
have liked seeing us push for that 3rd.
Yeah,
I was really surprised how, like, we were dominating the Red Bulls game, and then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it was like they took all the momentum, and like, I don't know if we changed. I didn't really feel like we changed our tactics, but that game turned like 360. 360.
Well,
120.
But it was 180 because the 360 would bring it back to us, and it never did.
Shout out! You didn't know you were going to get math on the show or geometry.
But I just wish, I don't like when a team. I get playing it safe, but I think sometimes teams take that to like the extreme, and you completely like just sit back in a low block, and eventually. A lot of teams out there have the players that if you give them the opportunity just to possess the ball in their offensive third, they're going to figure out a way to like break it down and score eventually. So why we do that, I was kind of irritated, but we held them on. So
over and over again in the World Cup. You see it. You see it all the time. I don't understand the tactic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know exactly, and part of it is that is our strategy to a certain degree. Not obviously to just withhold and absorb, but I mean we are certainly at our best when we're when we are countering. Right, if we don't have to make 15 to 20 passes, we're better, right? If we can make 3 or 4 passes down the field, like I think that's part of it. But it gets to a point, especially when you are up 2, that other team's going to be hungry to go score. They're just going to be that much quicker, that step faster, whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden you lose it, and it is hard to get it back. So Yeah, I mean,
maybe missing a player like Zaha that can take some of that
Yes,
pressure, that can
yes.
hold the ball, that can get fouled, can allow the slow down to the game. I don't know, just an
Yeah.
observation. Just
I
kind of
do
thinking about
think Zaha not being in, I wonder if that wasn't part of Abada's issue, kind of playing in his shadow, and he never really thought he was going to be the guy there in that position. So, I mean, because now that he's gone, it's like, well, this is what you were like, this is what we thought you were going to bring to the table. And I know he had his chances before Zaha came, but I think he had a lot of things in like, um, I don't know if the right word is trauma, but with the way he left his previous club coming to Charlotte with all the hate that he was dealing with over at his previous club, I think some of that has to like weigh on you as you're finding your way in a new city and a new club.
Very new culture for
yeah,
him.
so I'm happy for him.
I think we all
I'm
are.
not
Yeah.
sure if I'm still saying I want him to still be a part of CLT. I mean, if he plays like he did the last few games, I'm all for it. But maybe it helps his valuation go up. I mean, if nothing else.
Listen,
so.
man, he was
Can't hurt
straight
it.
up messy on the. Like I saw that meme that a different creator, I'm not going to mention their name, had posted,
free
but it was
ads.
pretty funny. Yeah, looking like Messi out there, but. Be interesting to see, obviously, when Alan St. Maximin finally does play a game for Charlotte FC, whether or not he has that same.
But
Again,
I think Abada can play on the other side too. I think he's maybe more. His stronger side is on Vargas' side.
Yeah, he looked well. That's where he has been mainly playing is on the right, but he's played the left these two games, and he's looked really good on that left side. So again, it'll be interesting to see that dynamic when it comes, but. Got to give your props where they're due. He has been great in those two matchups, and certainly a big part as to getting those 4 points. Which, again, we're kind of making it a little bit negative. I would say overall, though, definitely positive, right? I mean, getting those goals.
Hey,
it is about keeping them,
and we're undefeated in the last 4 games.
That part, yeah, that is true. What is that? 10 points in the last 4 games, right? Overall,
so
very, very good. You'll take that,
and especially coming out of 60 days off. Like, okay, we were, and Atlanta had that one game before us, so.
Yeah.
Overall, I think we're good.
Exactly. Overall, very happy with the 2 matchups or 2 games so far. Again, more on the matchups that we have coming later, but we'll go ahead and take our first break, our unsponsored break, or we'll say sponsored by Timmy over here, big time Timmy Ream, and then we'll be right back.
You'll hear more about him in a minute.
And Brian, I guess I'll go ahead and pass it right over to you. Yeah. What we got to start.
Well, it's All-Star Week here in Charlotte. We've been waiting on this for a while.
Yeah.
A lot of fan activity, fan fest on Saturday and Sunday. I took the girls out there and got to meet some U.S. national team legends, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, and Kobe Jones. Really cool event. Lots of, goings on all week long. Just a lot of fun. Looking forward to the skills challenge later this week as well as the All-Star match. And we've obviously got Tim Ream, Ashley Westwood, and Pepiel playing in that, and our own gaffer Dino is the coach of that. So I'm excited for what that's going to be for the city and for the continued summer of soccer here.
Yeah, and then don't let him shortchange himself. He was actually on this is news, but he was on the actual news as well, talking about that.
And don't forget, after coming out of All-Star, we go straight into
the Leagues Cup after the All-Star game.
So another little mini break.
Yeah, I know. We play a couple games and then right back into a break. Say it's a break. We're playing during that time, of course, with the Leagues Cup, but more on that later to come as well. Oh wait, this is actually me.
Yeah.
A little bit more of personnel news. So. Nothing confirmed here yet. Mixed results also, by the way, if you look at the chat. But James Tavernier has been rumored to be coming to Charlotte FC. If you're unfamiliar with his game, he is a 34-year-old right back / right midfielder, kind of that wing back, if you will. Captain Rangers over there in the Scottish Premiership for a long time. So obviously he's an older guy. Be interesting to see. I don't quite understand the mix personally.
The right back part of it?
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple there that we feel like we like with Byrne and of course, my twin Cleary. But who knows? I mean, he is quality at the end of the day, and maybe they're just looking for a little bit more leadership. I don't know. But that is a rumor. Obviously, nothing confirmed there yet. What is confirmed, sadly, at this point is no more backflips. You're doing a front flip. That's okay. But no more backflips in the Queen City, at least not from our beloved Kerwin Vargas. It is official. $4 million transfer to Atletico Paranaense. That is in the Brazilian Serie A league. So he is no more. Obviously, just great player for Charlotte. I mean, you hate to see players like this go. He's only 24 years old,
Right.
by the way, right? Still a young guy. That's a pretty good transfer for that player, though, I would say. But the versatility he brought, the offense, the defense, and just his overall attitude, right? Always a smile on his face.
He was always so happy.
Yeah, so you hate to see players like this go. You hope it's part of something a little bit bigger, I guess is what you would say at the end of the day. But we wish you nothing but the best.
In the first year, wasn't he? Or first or second year of the club, so he's been around for a little while too.
Oh yeah,
so
well over 100 appearances at this point. I know he had that sometime last year, so he's probably approaching 130 appearances for the club at this point. So
and he was like you could see he was upset.
Yeah. During the I can see you're upset. I feel like you're about to cry right there. Which I mean,
he was so he just made you smile. The way he played the game. He would get the crowd hyped up. I mean, he just brought like a joy. You could tell he loved doing what he did and loved being in Charlotte. So I wish him all the best. I'm sad to see him go, but I guess that's what we're gonna do.
That's how it goes in the game of football. Like, I mean, they're never here super long. You can't get super attached. We all do, of course, to these players. But yeah, players like this you hate to see go. But again, nothing but the best for Kerwin Vargas. A round of applause for him for his career here at Charlotte. Yes. It was a great one. And yeah, best of luck going forward in the Brazilian Serie A.
I will tell you though, good transition coming up right here. Vargas did have he liked to do the flip.
Yes, he did.
There is a potential person that's already with the club that also loves to do the flip when they score. So we're going to give a little shout out to Nympha because he's not made a start at the bank yet, but he has made a start for the U20 U.S. national team. So Berkeymas started against Haiti the other night in their opener that the under 20 national team had in the CONCACAF Cup. USA did beat Haiti 3-0 in that. Berkeymas didn't get on the score sheet, but he got the start. So
kudos he's playing the number 10 for him. It looks like.
I didn't know that.
So maybe it won't be too long till we start seeing flips again in the bank.
I mean, it was a perfect transition. Perhaps that is the player that they had in mind when they did bring or sell Vargas.
But I mean, Nympha's young, so there's going to be another one to get
love,
fall in love with, only for him to probably go somewhere in a couple of years. Anyhow, but Nympha was playing for the national team, the U20 team, so he wasn't with Crown Legacy this past Friday night, but Crown Legacy still made it happen. They were able to beat Red Bull 2 up in New York, or I don't know if they play
New Jersey.
I don't know where their MLS Next Pro team plays, but they did win 3-0. They're now tied for third, 4 points out of first, and they ended up scoring their 3 goals within 13 minutes with a goal by Mbonge, Nathan Richmond, which he is a fun, fast cat to watch play on the pitch. So he's cool. And then Mendoza with an assist from our little brother, Tiger Smalls' little brother, Magic Smalls, with assists on that goal. So kudos to the legacy. Well, I mean, I don't either, but I'm just saying.
Hate the Magic. Golly, every time I see Tiger come in these days. But anyway, we'll just go ahead and kick it right over to around the league as well. I guess what we have there, and
I guess I'll just keep talking.
Orlando.
So I'm going to give you some of the winners over the past 2 games. Orlando don't love this, but they did go 2-0 in their 2 games this past weekend. They won 4-0 over San Jose, and then they were able to beat Nashville.
San Jose and Nashville.
Yeah. But San Jose, I mean, the Nashville game was at Orlando. I don't know where that San Jose game was, but kudos to the guys in purple that hang out with Mickey. Philadelphia, they also won both their matches. They got a 3-1 win over Red Bull New York and a 1-0 victory over Seattle. And then my other favorite team, not that I'm saying, but they do wear black also. I had to go with my West Coast team, my LAFC Cats. They went 2-0 last week. They got a 3-1 win over RSL. And then they won 4-0 over Sporting Kansas City. Not surprised there. Both Son and Luanga scored goals.
First 2 teams were Orlando, Philadelphia, 2 toward the bottom this year. Griezmann got his first goal, I saw as well. So
he's probably I'm guessing he's making a difference there.
A bit so far, beating those teams. We had a couple others as well.
Yeah, also going 2-0 this week. St. Louis City, they got a 3-1 victory over LA Galaxy, as well as a 1-0 victory over Colorado. Inter Miami goes 2-0, 3-2 win over Chicago, and a 1-0 win over Montreal. And Casemiro had his first minutes with Inter Miami. NYCFC also goes 2-0, 2-1 win over Columbus Crew, and a 3-1 win over Chicago. So Chicago's coming into the bank this weekend on a little bit of a losing streak. They do have Lewandowski, so we'll see what happens.
Exactly, yeah. And talking about losing streaks, that's what I get to go over here for the around the league. So there was a few teams, as we just mentioned, that went 2-0. Shout them out. Great week for them. Not a great week for the teams I'm mentioning here. As you just mentioned, Chicago being one of those teams. They obviously went 0-2 last week, as we just mentioned. The 3-2 loss to Miami and the 3-1 loss to NYCFC with Lewandowski on the field. Obviously got rid of Hugo Kuipers, brought in Lewandowski. I think that's going to be talked about a lot, especially if you keep losing like that. So we'll see. Obviously, two tough teams there, but still kind of nice to see him go 0-2. Helps us catch up a bit. Red Bull New York, obviously also 0-2 last week. As we just mentioned, they lost 3-1 to Philadelphia, and of course, 2-0 to yours truly in the black and blue. Montreal 0-2 last week, but two close games against two great teams, right? 1-0 loss to Nashville and a 1-0 loss to Miami. And RSL goes 0-2 as well. They lost 3-1 to LAFC, as we just mentioned, and 2-1 to Portland. So those were all of the 2-0 teams. Those were all of the 0-2 teams last year.
Your winners and your losers.
Exactly. Where it all kind of shook out at the end of the week. Your Western Conference standings, really for the first time in about 2.5 months that we've given this. So 3 tied at the top right now for first. Yep. We have, of course, Vancouver, LAFC back up there, and San Jose. Vancouver does have a game in hand, worth noting. So they are, I guess, technically in first place above the other two. But all tied at 33 points. Only 3 points separating 4th through 9th. Very, very crowded right there. They're all between 26 points and 23 points. Those teams are, of course, Real Salt Lake, Houston, Dallas, St. Louis City, crazy, Seattle, and Minnesota. Kansas City, you continue to be last. So, maybe looking at that wooden spoon. But that's all we have on the Western side for now. Let's pass it off to the one we care most about, the East. And Amy.
And our boys, they are steadily holding in 6th place right there with 25 points. I think we're tied with NYCFC, like we always seem to be in the standings right there together, but they have us on goal differentials. And then I think we're only 1 point out of 3rd maybe, but Nashville is running away with it. They are leading the league, the Eastern Conference, with 39 points. And not far behind them is the team in 2nd place.
Second place team is Inter Miami with 37 points, so they're right on the heels of Nashville, but both of those teams are way above everybody else. But only 4 points separate 4 through 9 in the standings, in that Chicago, NYCFC, Charlotte, Cincinnati, Red Bull New York, and DC, all sitting with 22 to 26 points. So very tight in those other positions.
Yeah, tight in both conferences. Forgot to mention this as well, but Philadelphia on their 2 wins did jump from last place to second last place. Know who they jumped?
Atlanta.
That's right, Atlanta. Our boys down south are now the last place team in the East. Shout that out.
We should have thrown them farther into the last.
Yes, could have, should have. That is what it is. But yeah, that's your around the league, and then we'll take a quick break and right back to it. The one that started it all, everybody's favorite segment here, it is the match day preview. The one I didn't even realize was happening until about 10 minutes before the episode started. I'll be honest, I thought we were moving into the Leagues Cup, which we'll get into here in a little bit, but lo and behold, there is a game Saturday. It is not home. Otherwise, I definitely would have known about it. But it is, and it's an important game, by the way, just very looking at the standings, as we just mentioned, right? It is Charlotte FC traveling to the Windy City in Chicago. Chicago sitting in 4th place, as we just mentioned, with 26 points. 1 point ahead of Charlotte at 25 points. Do have a game in hand worth noting there, but obviously both teams very close together. A little bit about Chicago, because I don't believe we played them so far this year. They are coached by Greg with the extra G Berhalter.
Triple G.
You definitely have heard of him. Obviously, former U.S. men's national team head coach. Very standard 4-3-3 formation is typically what they're going to be running. Not much of a long ball team. Obviously, that's a stat if you guys watch the show enough. I really like to kind of look at and see how they like to distribute. Not by the long ball, right? They are not passing it long, and when they do, they are toward the bottom in completion percentage on those.
Yes.
So that's not how they win. They are third in the league in expected goals, right? So they obviously know how to get the ball in the net, or at least get it to the net to potentially score. The way they do that is very possession based, right? They're going to get the ball, they're going to pass the ball it's going back line, midfield, forwards. They're really led by Peter Zinkernagel. Very fun name to say, by the way. He is the primary playmaker.
He's now their leading scorer because they got rid of.
Correct. As we mentioned, Hugo Kuiper's being out, so he's their scorer, he's their assister. Obviously, they do have Lewandowski, the legendary Robert Lewandowski, as their striker now as well. But they do take a lot of shots from outside the box or right on the top of the box, right? That's where they like to get the ball, little cutbacks, if you will, and then hitting them in the way Westwood scored against the Red Bulls on Saturday. That is the way that they like to play. So, interesting game here, and like I said, it is an important one if we want to continue to rise up the standings. I will pass it to, I guess, Brian first. You tell me the keys to the game and prediction.
I think the keys to the game are just like we've done the last two games, and that start fast, try to get a goal in early. It's going to be important to keep possession of the ball when we can and move forward as a team. I don't know if we'll have Maxi in or not. I'd love for him to be integrated in some way, even if he's coming off the bench. It sounds like we won't have Vargas. We're gonna be thin on the wings unless we do get Maxi in.
I'd have to imagine. You said no? I mean, we hadn't seen anything.
We haven't seen him. I haven't seen any pictures of him in training.
Well,
Maybe
they're not
playing.
training right now because of the All-Star
I'm sure they're still training.
They got to be training somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope.
Well, the Charlotte FC film crew's taping the All-Star guys is what I'm saying, so we wouldn't know.
That's true. But
so I think, that's my keys to the game is, we gotta get some production from our bench, and Pepio's got to be the man like he has been. He's got to show up big in this game, I think.
Okay.
For me, I think two big keys is we got to get a body, and we've got to make sure we have Lewandowski marked like a nonstop. Like, I think he's gonna be hungry to score because he hasn't gotten on the score sheet yet in the two games he's played so far. But the thing that worries me most about Chicago, I'm not really worried about them possessing the ball. We're kind of used to other teams wanting to possess the ball. But what worries me is the fact they like to shoot from the 18 or beyond, because we know we are the best team at closing the space quickly. So to me, I think if that's kind of their strength, we really need to be on our game and make sure we have a player there and not give them the space to take the shot, or if there is the space, we quickly close that space down. So I think with those two things, we'll get our counterattacks. We need Pep to do what you said, the Pep things. I would like to see, maybe we switch it up, because if Maxi doesn't play, maybe we play more of a 4-4-2 type thing with Archie and Edon up top. I think that would kind of be something cool to see if we don't have.
I don't even know who plays the wings if Maxi can't go.
You got a Bada, you got a Loco, and that's pretty much it.
Tiger Smalls.
Like I said,
that's pretty much it.
Like I said, hopefully if Maxi's not playing, we will start a 4-4-2 with Goodwin and Edon up top and not have Tiger Smalls getting his start.
Then you're worried about bench, though. And
just let them play 90. Oof. Let them play in the Leagues Cup. Or hopefully by the Leagues Cup start, Maxi's here. That's a whole other week from now.
Maybe I'm being too optimistic. I'm really, really hoping that Maxi is ready for this game. Kind of need him, right? Yeah, obviously, we are very thin at wing with no Vargas. Obviously, we're going to have a bot in there. My keys, though, despite the lack of depth we're talking about at wing, I'm really hoping and kind of counting on Maximine to be there for this game. I think it is in the midfield, as you had just mentioned, right? I think you said it, kind of dead on with them being able to take those shots from the top. I think this is a game for my boy, Jabril Gianni. I think this is a game we kind of need him. Luca De La Torre has started the last couple of games, and he's been fine. As he, he hasn't played poorly. So I'm not just trying to take him out of the starting lineup for the sake of it. But I think that defensive presence, the long body, being able to get in front of stuff like that, I think is important in a game like this. Obviously, him and Westwood back there together to be able to feed it up to Pepiel so he can go do those Pepiel things we know he can. So I think that's the midfield I would roll with in this game. I'm really, really praying that it is St. Maximin on the left wing, and then obviously Abada over on the right wing, with the Loco being able to kind of come in and sub if need be. I don't mind an Archie Goodwin starting this game for Toklamati. I think that could make sense. He's the one that can run in behind a little bit more out and out winger, because I think this game does scream counterattack the way that we like to play, right? And so I think we are going to see ourselves around that 37, 38, 39% possession, right?
Yeah.
And so having somebody up top that doesn't need the ball quite as much as a Toklamani may. So letting Goodwin take that start and again be the kind of threat in behind is important. What about scores?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 2-1. Charlotte gets the win. And I'm going to go with my scores. I'm gonna say we get a BL and a Goodwin goal.
Okay, all right, those two good names.
You guys aren't gonna like this, but I don't think we pull a win in this game. I think there's too many distractions with the All-Star game being in town. There's too much uncertainty with our players. I do think we could chip a point away. So I'm
you're
gonna
going
go
with a draw.
I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
1-1 draw, and I mean Pep's been on fire. I think he gets the goal.
I like that. I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. It is All-Star, All-Star, All-Star. By the way, there's a game I even was I was guilty of that on my own show. So you're not wrong when you say that. I will be the optimist here, though. I'll be with Amy. I will roll with the dub because it is a Charlotte show.
Charlotte for the week.
And so I like your score line. I like your score line so much. I think I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to roll 2-1 Charlotte in this game. You have to go Pep Biel, so I'll agree with you on that one. The other goal scorer, though, I'm going with the hot hand in Abada. I like the way that he's been playing. Again, we got to see more of it. It seems more and more likely that he will be on the team moving forward versus getting a different DP.
Which is kind of nice because can you imagine if we didn't have Abada either right now?
Right
I mean, what the heck would we be doing?
Exactly.
Playing a 4-5-1?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what the heck?
Yeah. You never know. But I think that's what I would like to roll with. I like the way that the back line looked with I think Kessler gets the start again, honestly, with Morris and Anjumong back there. And again, those two in the midfield. And they find a way to scratch those 3 points out and jump the standings. That's my guess. That's our guess. And hey, bonus.
We're not signing off now.
Yeah, but wait, there's more. Just like was that Bob May? Who was that in the back? Yeah, I think it was Bob May that did those infomercials. But more to come here in a second. All right, and on to our last segment here. Andy's certainly ready for us too. Shout out Mateer Dog over here, Andy. But yeah, we do have a bonus segment here. So obviously this is our last game before we have this in-season tournament, the Leagues Cup, the one between the Mexican League and, of course, the MLS.
La Liga.
Well, not La Liga. That would suck if we had to play them. But Liga MX.
Oh, Liga MX.
We wouldn't love that, I don't think. But yeah, Liga MX versus, of course, the MLS. Listen, not much has changed from last year. So if you want to know a little bit more about the format, I had a whole segment on it last year. But just as a reminder, only 4 teams, so 18 teams from both leagues qualify and make it. Meaning there's 36 teams in the tournament. Only 8 make it into the knockout stage, past the group stage, right? So it is a very, very select few that can make it into the second round here. No ties in these, by the way. So it is very standard. If you just watch the World Cup, it's very standard in terms of there are groups of 4. Obviously, there are no. The one difference is there are no draws, right? You're not going to see. Well, you will see 1 point, but there are no draws. They'll go straight to PKs if there is a tie after 90 minutes. No extra time at all. Just straight to PKs. If you win the PK, you get 2 points. If you lose the PK, you get the 1 point. And again, only the top 4 MLS teams on points and the top 4 Liga MX teams qualify for the next round. So going to be tough. If you can finish top 3 in this competition, you do automatically qualify for the CONCACAF Champions League, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tough games for Charlotte, I'll be honest. So I went and looked. We've got Pumas first. They only ranked first last year in Liga MX. Atlas is second. They finished 6th in the league last season. And then Pachuca is the third match that we have. They finished 4th. Didn't look at the rest of the teams. Feel like we got screwed here. What do you guys think? Are you excited for this tournament at all? Or are you not really in any sort of predictions?
I mean, I might say I feel like we played Pachuca last year.
We did, yeah.
And I feel like that's the game that was not good.
No, that was Juarez.
Oh, that was
Juarez.
Okay.
I won't forget that
game. So maybe we
game.
did beat Pachuca. So I have mixed feelings about leagues. About what is this called?
Leagues Cup.
Yep. I get Leagues Cup and Open Cup mixed up, or whatever the other one is. I mean, I love anytime we get a chance to go for a trophy.
Sure.
I don't always like what appears to be our mindset with these like in season league thing, like whatever you want to call them, because I'm not sure we're ever 100% fully committed to like let's give it our all.
It's almost like we have to see where we land and then decide after that.
Right.
Like,
It scares me because typically, I mean, Pumas, they're going to bring their fans. I don't know much about Atlas. Pachuca, they're going to bring the fans. I mean, they travel well, even though they're from Mexico. And
Pumas is a big club,
their fan bases are loud. They will be active. So I think it's really important that our fans show up to these games. And I also think kind of our guys seem to be a little intimidated by the style of play. I know people say the MLS is a pretty, not rough isn't the word, physical league, but I just think the Mexican teams just bring it to a whole nother level. You're going to have the antics and you're going to have the flopping and the diving and all the things that come with that.
The dark arts.
Yes. And so if you let that mentally get into you and you get frustrated, it's very easy for them to take you off of your game. So anywho, I'm excited because it is extra games at the end of the day. It is a chance to get some hardware. Do I think we finish as one of the top 4 MLS teams in this tournament? No. Would I be happy and surprised if we did? 100% yes. But I mean, I think pretty much if you don't win your 3 games, the chances of you moving on in this
at least
is
2 and
so
win the PK.
rare.
I think you got to get about 8. I mean, you have to.
So,
crazy.
So predictions for the cup, I think we maybe win 1, tie 1. Well, maybe we win 2, 1 in penalties. I don't know if we'll beat Pumas.
Maybe. And then we're out after the first game.
I mean, we were out on the first game last year.
We
played so crappy against Juarez.
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
I mean, that's kind of what's disheartening.
That was in the midst of that 9-game win streak last year, too.
It was really terrible. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
And our depth, if we don't have a Maxi right now, I mean, what the heck? Now we're like really burning out our guys.
Yes.
For me, I couldn't care less about this tournament. I really couldn't. I mean, the only reason I like it is because you're probably going to see a heavily rotated squad. Hell, they might play the legacy team for all we know. I don't care about it because the club hasn't seemed to care about it. They haven't prioritized it. Now, if we would get advanced, then I would care about it.
Right.
Because there is that opportunity for Championship Cup. But I would just prefer to prioritize the MLS season versus this tournament. Now, I feel differently about Open Cup because I love the Open Cup.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just not excited about it other than, I mean, I think it is kind of cool to see like these Mexican teams up close and personal. But as far as the tournament goes, I'm not super interested. I think we see players like Brant Brodico get a lot of minutes. Tiger Smalls. If maybe we integrate Maxi, so maybe we see a healthy dose of him, so he gets kind of game minutes under his belt. But that's where I am.
I feel that. I'm trying to, I guess is what I would say, right? It's not that I'm not. Obviously more football is always good. More Charlotte football is even better. It's a tournament. It's a cup. It's something that we could potentially win. But yeah, I mean, the likelihood, I didn't see everybody else's draw, but that's got to be the worst draw out of all of them, which already sucks. And as you said, our track record under Dean Smith in these tournament type formats has not gone very well because, frankly, we haven't given a crap whether we win or lose, right? We'll put in, again, a rotated squad that isn't necessarily the A team and get beat and then, complain
but Dino
about
will
it.
say that he put a team on the pitch that could win.
Yeah, and of course they could.
Yeah.
Right, we talked about that. We went through that with the Atlanta debacle.
Well, everybody has a chance to win until the whistle blows.
Exactly, right. But it's not your best chance, as we've learned, right? And so, exactly the same thing. If we come out and beat Pumas and we come out and beat Atlas, then I'm going to go back on the show and be like, this is the greatest cup of all time, and I cannot wait to win this thing. But right now, I am just very on the fence about this particular tournament. I hate to be a neutral here, but that's where I'm at because, again, the likelihood of us moving through with the squad that is probably not going to be the A squad against what seems to be the A list of teams that we're playing. Yeah, it's extra football. We love that. The
only
three
thing
more
that,
home games.
The only thing that's
nice.
a little nice about this is the fact that this is the beginning of their league, so maybe they're a little rusty. I don't know, maybe not, but
rust versus rest, who knows? I guess, but who knows? I am like you guys. I don't want to see Charlotte outnumbered in their own stadium too bad. Obviously I'll be there. I'll be loud. I'll be proud. I know the first game's on a Tuesday night. Who cares? I'll be there. Right. It'll be, I'll be excited when I'm at the game. I'm sure the crowd will make it a little bit more interesting. But for the time being, predictions for the Cup.
I don't think
tune in next time. See how it goes.
Yeah, I'll say at least 6 points, but obviously 6 won't be enough anyway. I think you got to get probably 7, probably 8 points to get out.
So you're saying we're beating 2 out of the 3 of those teams?
I think we can, especially if we do put a better club out there, because who knows who they're putting out. But
I think part of it depends on, like we talked about the first game. If we beat Pumas,
then maybe
your
tactics change later.
Yeah, but if we don't, you're pretty much out of it if you lose that first game.
Yeah.
You are, as we've heard last year. Yeah, you're done.
Especially depending on how you lose.
Well, and I think the other thing in this is I don't know what their tiebreakers are beyond the top 4, but you're going to have to score goals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to probably go to goals, either for a goal differential, and so we don't love to put a lot of goals on the board, so that's going to be the other thing. Not only do we have to win, as I think we have to win with some pretty decent
old college
lines.
Football rules right back in the BCS.
Right,
we'll see how it goes. Like I said, on the fence about that. What we're not on the fence about is this show being done for the night. Appreciate you all watching. Like and subscribe as always. Cannot wait for Saturday to watch Charlotte. Hopefully get a victory going into this League Cup break. And obviously, Charlotte show up on this will already air, or the game will already have happened by then. But Charlotte, I look forward to everybody out at the game on Wednesday. Going to be a great time, great celebration of Charlotte football.
You mean for the All-Star game?
For the All-Star game, exactly. So
because I was like, the next game would be Tuesday for the league.
Yes, this is talking about the All-Star game come Wednesday. Cannot wait. Show up and show out. And until that next episode, this has been Charlotte
for the crown
for the week.